Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video in the Java series. In this episode I want to show you the different ways that we can loop through a collection and also how we can use the forEach and stream forEach methods to loop through collections more efficiently than we would normally do. So this is our first video in the Java Stream API series, the mini series, together with the larger Java series. So showing you the different ways that we can loop through a array list or a collection is going to be helpful to understanding how the Stream API works, because we can build upon those basic concepts and see how easy it gets. And yeah, so let me just shut up and show you. So let's go ahead and make a collection here so that we can test out what I want to show you. So I'm just going to make a simple array list of strings. So array list string, and we'll call it names, is equal to new array list. Here we go, import array list. And so for each of these, we just want to add some names here. So add Bob, names.add Larry, names.add Ricky. Okay, cool. So now we have a simple collection here we can use, and we're going to loop through this. And the most simple way that you can loop through a collection in Java or even an array is by using a simple for loop. Okay, so we can do for int I is equal to 0. I is less than the size of the thing you're looping through, so names.size, and then I++. And then for each iteration of that loop, we can do sout names.get I and just print out the name one by one. So I just told you that this is the most simple way, but that's not exactly true. Just because you're more familiar with something doesn't mean it's the most simple way. So don't get those two things confused. You're probably more familiar with the simple for loop, the int I is equal to 0, I is less than names.size, I++ for loop, because this is like just the most essential way to loop through something in many different languages. Pretty much everyone is familiar with this and they use it very often, but it's not the most simple way. We can make this even better and easier to understand for looping through a collection or an array. So to make this even more simple, we can use what's called the forEach loop. So forEach loop, otherwise known as the enhanced for loop. Enhanced for loop. So you might be familiar with this one as well. It's another very simple one. So for string name and then colon space names. So what this will do is initialize a name for each of the names in the names array list, and then we can then use that name and print it out. So name, there we go. So this one's obviously much more easy to understand because you don't have to worry about managing the index of the for loop and iterating it and then incrementing it and all that stuff. It's very simple, very concise. That's the word. So let's run this here just to make sure everything's working as we want it to. So yeah, there we go. We get all the names printed out twice. And just so we can understand it a little better, let's make a space in between. There we go. So now there's space in between. There we go. So now we got Bob, Larry, Ricky, Pablo, and Thomas, space Bob, Larry, Ricky, Pablo, and Thomas. So these are not the only two ways to loop through a collection. If you're familiar with collections, you might know that every or most collections have what's called an iterator. So let's say that we want to get the iterator for our array list here. All we have to do is store it into an iterator object reference. So iterator, import that. We'll call it iterator is equal to names.iterator. So this will return the iterator for our array list here. And also we want to make sure that the type is specified. So iterator of strings, because this is an array list of strings. And we can now use this to iterate through our collection here. Now it depends on what collection you're working with here. This time we're working with an array list, but let's say that you're working with a linked list. It's more efficient to use an iterator in that case because of the way that linked lists are designed. Since each node in the linked list has a reference to the next node in the linked list, that means that if you use a simple for loop, whenever you specify the index of the node you want to get, it has to start at the beginning of the linked list and then iterate until it reaches the element that you're trying to select. So this time you don't have to specify an index whenever you're looping through with an iterator, because it keeps track of the index internally, like I said. So, or not the index per se, but it keeps track of, well, within a linked list, it keeps track of the node or the element that it's on. That's probably more, that makes more sense, I think. But yeah, that's kind of out of the purview of what we're talking about here, but just in case you're interested, iterators are more efficient in certain circumstances. Anyway, kind of a little tangent right there. Now, I don't know about you, but iterators here I don't really like how they're designed. You have to make a while loop and you have to call iterator.hasNext, and then you have to call iterator.next, and that's how you loop through the iterator. Now, in Java 8, they introduced a new forEach method that allows you to essentially do what you're doing here, but in a more efficient manner using lambdas. So let me show you how you can use that. So we'll say JDK8 forEach method. Okay, so let's say that you have a collection here. That means that we can do names dot and then forEach. And this simple forEach method basically encapsulates the iterator that we have defined within the collection, so that you don't have to worry about calling hasNext and all that stuff. It does that for you. So we can simply do forEach, and the parameter that's asking for here is a consumer. Now, I hope if you're watching this video, you are familiar with lambdas. I'll leave a link in the description below for that video. But yeah, you need to know how lambdas work for this to be, concise, because otherwise you would have to do something like this. So you can do new consumer, and then inside of that accept method, you can define what you want to happen for each element of this forEach method here. So you can do sout s, which is the same thing as what you're doing here. So you're just printing out the name or the element that you're looping through. So anyway, let's print this out. Let's actually put some spaces here though. So let's copy this here. Oops. All right, so let's run this now and see what we get. So we get 1, 2, 3, and then the last one is the forEach method that we just called here. So it's printing out everything like it was doing before, except this time we're using the forEach method that was introduced in Java 8. And like I said before, this calls the iterator behind the scenes, and it's an abstraction, so you don't have to worry about using the iterator. It's much more easy. But as you can see here, this code is still very, very sloppy. And what I mean by sloppy, there's a lot of fluff here, the stuff that you can take away. And the way that we can take away all this extra code here is just by using lambdas. So like I said, you need to be familiar with lambdas, but if you are, then this is really easy. All you need to do is do names.forEach, and instead of defining a new consumer, you can just put a new lambda, which is basically just a consumer in the background, essentially. So we can simply do name, and then do sout. We can do like this, sout name. So what this will do is simply, it will do the same thing as it's doing here, except that this time we're using a lambda to make this consumer much more concise. So now this name here represents each element in the collection that we have here. And for each element that we loop through, we want to print it out. Very, very simple. So let's go ahead and make a space here so we can test it out. And there we go. So everything prints out same as normal. And we can make this even more concise. So we can now do names.forEach. And then now instead of doing name, arrow, block, and then sout, we can do name, arrow, sout, name, just like that. So that's even more concise, but we can make this even better. Names.forEach system.out println. So this is called a method reference whenever you have something that looks like this with the double colon. This is a method reference. Essentially, it's a shorthand way of writing this. All you're doing is taking each element of this forEach method here and then plugging it into the parameter for the print line method that you're calling. Okay, so essentially what we've done here on this last line is we're taking all of these different ways that we can iterate through this collection of names and made it very, very simple and concise using one line. And this is a Java 8, like I said, forEach method. So I don't know about you, but I think this is awesome. As you can see, things have improved very much over the years in the Java updates. Now we can make things much more concise and easier to understand. So in this case, let me get rid of all this stuff here. Let's take these two things. So if we compare these two things, which one is much more concise and easier to understand? Which one gets the point across more easily? This one, right? Obviously, because it's a single line of code. All it's doing is it's forEach. That means it's looping through each element of this collection here, and then it's printing out each one of them. So this boils down to the idea of you only have to worry about what you're trying to accomplish, not how to accomplish it. So for the for loop that we have here, we have to worry about managing all of these variables, incrementing them, the condition here, and then getting the element and then printing it out. But with this one, all we have to worry about is calling the forEach method, which tells it in the background to loop through it using an iterator, and then it prints out each one of these. So this one's much more concise, and it gets the point across without having to worry about all the extra fluff or the extra garbage in the background. You can focus on merely accomplishing a task without having to worry about how to accomplish the task. Hopefully that point gets across to you guys. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I just want you to understand what I'm talking about and how this applies to programming and how you can make your code much more easier to understand and more efficient. Yeah. So that's not it though. I want to show you one more thing. It's pretty much the exact same thing as the forEach method that I just showed you here, except that it's a little different. So besides this that was introduced in Java 8, we also introduced the stream API, which is very, very popular. So now we can do names.stream, and this opens up a stream of string objects. And then now that we have a stream, we can do forEach upon that stream, and it accepts a consumer like this one does here. So they look the same, but they're a little different. So let's just test it out first. We'll do name, arrow, sout, name. Or we could have done the method reference. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to show you. So that will do the same exact thing. It will just print out each name. So sout space, sout space. And let's run this, see what we get. We should get 3 lists now. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. So even though these are both called forEach, they are different. So in this case, we are opening up a stream, and we'll learn more about streams in the next episode, where we give you a formal introduction to streams and explain them a little better. But a stream is essentially a container that holds all of your elements that you're trying to iterate through. So this will open up a stream, and then on that stream, you can call the forEach method or operation, and then you can print out each of the elements in that stream using the same way we did up here. So what exactly is the difference between the stream forEach and the regular forEach that we have here? Like I said before, the forEach that we have up here uses the iterator of the collection behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about doing it yourself. But this one does not. It does not use the iterator in the background. It uses the stream itself to iterate through each element. And also you can use parallel streams. We'll look at that in the future. We can use parallel streams to iterate through each element in the stream. But in essence, it doesn't really matter which one you use, as long as you're doing something very simple like looping through each element and then printing them out, or something like that, or modifying each element. It really doesn't matter. But when you start to get into more advanced stuff, like mapping, filtering, and stuff like that, the stream is the way to go, because with stream you can use a bunch of different operations besides the forEach operation. You can use filter, map, count. You'll see a lot of cool stuff that we can do. But anyway, I hope that was interesting. It's just a very, very simple introduction to streams and functional programming, I guess. And so now you know the different ways that you can loop through a collection, and also how you can use the Java 8 forEach and stream forEach methods to iterate through a stream, and then use lambdas to make it even more concise. So it's only a single line of code now, which is pretty awesome because you're achieving a lot. In the next episodes, it'll get a little more exciting. We'll be using streams and looking at the different operations we can do on streams. So hopefully you're excited for that. And yeah, so I'll leave the code for this episode in the description below, like I usually do. So make sure to check that out and bookmark it for future use. And also, I'll leave a link to our Discord server so you can get involved in our community if you want to. You can join, ask for help, get some friends, whatever you want to do. And finally, if you want to support this channel, then click the join button below this video. And you can join this channel as a member for as low as 99 cents a month. And you get some cool perks like early access to all of my new videos, a cool rank on my Discord server, and also you get to see yourself on the screen like you see it right now. If that sounds cool to you, hit the join button and join as a member. And that's it. So thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and peace.